They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Now, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, the Vikings will call on their punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now a handoff here to his running back. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down following the run. Now McCarron throwing on 2nd. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Fresh set of downs here. On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's McCarron. Finding time. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw, McCarron. And Eifert has it. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught, Eifert over the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And while we have a moment, let's meet the starters defensively for the Cincinnati Bengals.
And they wanted to update and beef up their secondary, and they did that with their first-round selection. William Jackson III out of Houston has speed, good eyes in the secondary, and is aggressive on the corner.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And now it's 4th down.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there if you like zone defense.
McCarron now on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Terrell Casey doesn't get the attention that he deserves, but he is an absolutely terrific defensive tackle, the best player on just about any team he would play on.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come out here in the eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked it. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And now they'll throw it with McCarron. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. McCarron going to try and throw on third down. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. McCarron to throw on second down. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a sack for a loss of a yard, and now it'll be third and goal. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is third and goal. McCarron on third and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there from 8 yards out, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he...
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So the fumble recovery, and now McCarron. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. So a 3rd and 9, and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Controlling the passing lanes.
A.J. McCarron, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Let's hope it's not anything that'll keep him out of the opener. We'll be right back. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when your running back can catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now. Gun.
Looking to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. After the INT, it's McCarron. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. 4 yards remaining now on second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now here's McCarron on 3rd. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
On 1st and 10, here's A.J. McCarron looking deep downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver, 72 yards. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. throwing on first. Here's McCarron. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it will help them at contract time.
Now McCarron throwing on second. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
All right, now look at 56.
McCarron now on first down. And he fires one incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Boom, 90. Boom.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And out now come the Vikings. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 19, and it'll give the Vikings a first down. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Back to throw. On the right side, caught by Green. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. A beautiful fake. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the...
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Here we go now. Green now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And an alley to run. That he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Green 39. Green 39. Here we go. Check it close. No. Check. Patriot.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, you just drop to a point and react to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job one. A touchdown certainly would have been nice, but here you get back on even terms, and now you get the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be hit as he